Hi everyone, it's Monica, and welcome back to Tailor-Made Cards for You. Well, it's Mother's Day, so I thought I would share with you the card that I made for my mom this year and walk you through my process. I'm going to be creating a background using some of my distress oxides. And I keep my distress oxides in this cute little pouch. I also created the storage for my oxide sponges. Each sponge is in its own little container and it's labeled so I know exactly what color goes for each sponge. So to begin, I'm adding broken china and peeled paint to my craft mat. And then I'm going to spritz my craft mat until I see droplets of water. Now, if you've watched some of the videos that are out there for the distress oxides, this is not a new technique. After you spritz your water onto your craft mat, you're going to take your white piece of paper and just dab it to create a pattern onto your paper. And then you're going to take your heating tool and dry it. The nice thing about oxides is the colors will layer. So when I add my second layer of spiced marmalade and wilted violet, the layers will actually sit on top of the other colors rather than blend in. And this is what makes the oxides unique from the distress inks. Now this is possible because the oxides are not only water reactive, but they're a combination of dye and pigment ink. And they're fused together, which creates the oxide effect when you spritz it with water. Now I could have easily left this background as it is, but I wanted to add a little bit more green and a little bit more blue to the background. Now these shakers that I'm using are Lindsay's Magicals, and they're reactive to water. You're going to get two different effects when you're using these. One effect that you will get when you spray them is the ink will splatter. But in this situation, I'm actually just adding some water along with some Mod Podge to just add some color in the background. And it does give a little bit of a shimmer as well, which is an added bonus. Now, one thing that I like to do on busy backgrounds is add some script or some sort of interest to take the focal point away from just the color. This is a new stamp set that I just recently picked up from Stampers Anonymous, and it's called Etc. And I'm using the ledger to create some background effect. Now, one thing I like about these stamps is they're big enough to hold in my hand, and I can control where I'm putting the background. So as you saw, I'm not stamping the entire image. I'm just taking pieces of the stamp and adding some interest to the background. Now, another fun item that I've recently been working with are these cute little paper dolls from Holtz. And I specifically chose the black and white images because I wanted to show you how you can color these with distress crayons. A lot of people are intimidated by distress crayons, but I think they're so versatile and there's so many ways that you can use them. So I wanted to show you at least one of the ways that I use them. Now, when I picked up this paper doll set, I actually picked up two sets because I knew at some point I wanted to use it in a giveaway, and today is the lucky day. So make sure you stick around to the end of the video so I can tell you what you need to do to be entered into my drawing to win one of the paper doll collections. Now, a good way to ground items is to use washi tape. And I didn't want my flowers just floating in the air, so I took a couple of strips of washi tape to ground my flowers. And then I took my black soot distress crayon to outline the edges. Now, if you haven't seen this tool yet, it's one of the new tools in Tim Holtz collection, and it's his stamp platform. I actually have a video in my video library where I introduced the stamp platform, and I went through all of the features and benefits of having one. So I would encourage you to check out that video if you're not familiar with this tool. I chose to use it on this 15-cent stamp because it is a silhouette stamp. And sometimes when you're stamping silhouette stamps, you don't get a clean, crisp impression the first time. And with the stamp platform, you can stamp multiple times and it will stamp in exactly the same place every single time. I also use my stamp platform to stamp my little sentiments. Typically, I would just use an acrylic block for this, but since I already had the platform out, I decided to go ahead and use it. Now finally, for the background, I wanted to put some black splatters, but I didn't want these splatters to hit my yellow flowers. So I took a piece of paper towel to cover up those flowers, and then the little bit that I did actually get on the flowers, I just easily wiped off. I think this black paint splatter effect is always a nice finish on these backgrounds. Now, one thing that I've been doing recently is I've been finishing off my cards by outlining the edges with black soot. Walnut stain used to be my go-to color, but I love the dramatic effect that you get when you outline it with black soot. Now, when you do this technique, it is a little messy on your fingers, so you're going to want to make sure that you clean up your fingers really well before you actually pull out your white cardstock. I can't tell you how many times I've ended up with black fingerprints on my cards. Okay, now for the giveaway. If you'd like to be entered into a drawing to win one of those paper doll collections, I'd like for you to be a subscriber to my channel and leave me a comment below. Let me know if you ever use the paper dolls and what you think of them. Also, this is my birthday month, and I'm having a celebration video every Wednesday all month in May. This series did start last Wednesday, so you're going to want to go back and check that out. I'm going to have lots of prizes, and it's going to be a fun month all month long. I will be doing the drawing for this paper doll set at the end of the month, so don't forget to subscribe and check back. All right, everyone, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you all have a great Mother's Day.